Apparent term of the nth sequence. Apparent nth term.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to look at this one right here because it has nasty fractions. Now, the fractions ones always kind of bug me because there's two ways to look at them. You could look at them as in parts, like you could look at the numerator and then the denominator, or you guys can look at them as like a function or like a whole number, in which case you would need to find common denominators and then find it. Okay, but sometimes, one way works almost all the time. Now, the way I'm going to do it is the first way. I'm going to look at the numerators only and then the denominators only. But what about that sign? It's like changing. It's first negative, and then it's positive, and then it's negative, then it's positive, and then it's negative. There's one little fancy tool that you can use. You can just say n to the n, or -1 raised to the n, because that will automatically switch signs every time. Okay, so there's another part to this rule, so I can actually get a function. We know that a sub 1 equals -2/3. So we don't have to worry about this negative. We already took care of them. But how would we get 2 and how would we get 3 if n equals 1? How about adding 1 to the n? Would that give me 2? So what can I write on the bottom to give me 3? n plus 2. Okay, now does that work every single time? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's look at the third term. Now we know the third term is a -3/4. I'm sorry, a -4/5. So if I plug this in, it'll be -1 raised to the third power, and then it would be 3 plus 1 on top and 3 plus 2 on the bottom. What is -1 raised to the third power? That would be -1, because these would make a +1, and then you multiply the -1 and the +1, you get a -1. So whatever this result's going to be, you know that it's going to be negative. Now what is 3 plus 1? 4. 3 plus 2? 5. And it works. Actually, I shouldn't have boxed that one because that's not our answer, but it does work. Chigang-a-dang. Okay, so that was the third term. That was 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. If I plug in 5, would I get that?
Positive.
If I plug in 4, would I get that? Yeah. So it all works. And this is the worst way, I think. I don't like this way of defining a sequence. It's just because it's guess and check.